today, and then I know that the rest of the team is swamped with optimism, and Lauren is off today. So I prepared today's call to be shorter, but we still need to review some things, but it will not take long. So let's start. Thank you so much for joining. And we'll start with our stand up. What have you been working regarding comms in your working group? Share with the team, and let's start with our comms call from the 27th. I can start. So I've been working on the communications for everything regarding Impact Quest to be ready. So I'm very focused on that. Hoping to end with all the preparations soon. So that's me, and I'll pass it to Sue.
Did you say me?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. I've not been actively working on anything comms related, just apart from getting ready to dig into this new project in conjunction with Communitas. Well, not straight away, but that's the last sort of comms related item I've been doing, as I've still been doing fundraising and support for Common Stack. I know that this week I need to come up with some better questions for part of the, what are we calling this? Like these interview bites for ETH Barcelona. I really want to be able to provide something useful and fun for that. And I'll pass to Ashley.
At the moment, I don't know that I'm really working on anything super comms related. I guess just like supporting with Impact Quest stuff for East Barcelona, and maybe doing some comm stuff there, so trying to support with like some fun things there. And I think that's really it for me for comms right now. Once the Communitas proposal goes through, then I'll have some more action steps maybe on how to collaborate with comms and maybe with the ambassador program coming up. So doing some outreach around the ambassador program at ETH Barcelona as well. So I think most of my comm stuff is very ETH Barcelona right now. And I will pass it to Ana Maria.
Thank you. So from my side, I'm right now I'm supporting the mod with Giveth newsletter. So I'm basically giving my input on the parts that I can write without like asking additional questions. But I will probably ask some of you guys to help me like create to be as best it can be. But that's it right now. Most of the time I'm like deep in that optimism proposal because they give us a little bit of feedback for like our proposal, and now we need to adjust a little bit of budget. So I'm basically doing that, but also helping Ahmad with the newsletter, but not so deep in it. That's just like starting to create it. So that's like from my side, and I pass it to Franco.
Thank you. Is it Ana Maria or Ana Marie? How do I say your name?
Ana Maria.
Ana Maria. Okay. Thank you, Ana Maria.
Yes.
Right now, what I'm working on is in trying to get the structure ready for the QF documentation, and yeah, this is mainly like my comms focus, I guess. Besides just like revising the whole documentation, but QF, I think this is like the priority right now because it's meant to be released next month. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. So that's my comms.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay. Today we are going to go through some items, some announcements, and high-level overview. Then we're going to review ETH Barcelona. I want to go actually through the questions, Suga, so you don't have to do that by yourself. And just check in on the July homepage. that we need to set up this week before I leave. So let's go to this high-level overview and priorities. We're still running AI June. Remember that this is being streamed
I had like
through Giveth's YouTube. So if you just go to our YouTube and go into the live videos, you will see the 2 sessions that we have right now. And I mentioned this because if you're talking to someone interested in AI, I think that it would be cool if you just mentioned that we are running an AI hackathon that's different, that's exciting. And also, if you haven't watched the Nathan Schneider Grief GM, it was a really cool episode. So I will put the link on the chat. Basically, this is an episode that discusses 2 different perspectives from 2 libertarians, mentioning their overview on crypto policies, why it's important to build some policies around crypto, why this is a challenge. So this is a good one in case you want to check it out. And the other high level announcement that I wanted to share with you all is that Algin is already working in the social media Giveth team, doing kind of like what Claire was doing. She will be owning Giveth Instagram and Giveth's Facebook. So wanted to share analysis that Algin prepared about our Instagram and Facebook pages. I think that this would be interesting for you, Ana Maria, if you want to learn more about the state of our Facebook and Instagram. Is some insights that Algin prepared regarding our audience or potential topics that we could discuss Facebook and Instagram, or that we could cover, the gender and stuff. So just for you to have in mind that Algin and Steve with Lauren and myself are part of Giveth's social media team. So just how pieces are coming together on comms. Is there any other announcement that someone would like to share? If not, we can just move to the ongoing efforts. Okay, let's review Suga's questions. So we're going to be recording these videos that Suga and Nicola and Ashley and also Lauren propose to create. It would be short videos, really casual, trying to also to be fun, in which we're going to be asking some questions of the ETH Barcelona attendees, and then we will create content for our social media. So Suga came with these questions. I was going through them. I think that I highlighted the ones that I thought that could work, but also wanted to review this with everyone, so we can have more clarity and we could agree on the questions. So let me share with you the questions that Suga prepared for the attendees. Put them on the chat. Suga,
I really like I really like your comment, simpler. You're totally right. Some of these are just, I really need to make another stab at this. They're just a bit too, I don't know what it is.
Yes, that was my
Anyway,
concern
sorry,
also.
go
Yeah,
ahead and present.
sorry.
I just want to excuse myself again that I don't think they're that fabulous.
Yeah,
I want
just
them to
wanted
be much more
brainstorm.
fun.
Yeah, I wanted to say maybe go for something more fun and more in like general message, not being specific about give tokens, because we don't know who is the people that gonna be answering these questions.
Okay, let me write that down. Sorry.
Yeah, because I was at this conference is in Split happening in May, and they have Calimero. There's like some blockchain network. They have some similar like marketing efforts. They were asking questions the attendees, and they have like a really nice recap video of all the questions. But they were like in general questions about blockchain, not what they do and all of that. I can share that with you. Also, Marco answered the question in the video for them. I will share the video with you when I find it here in the chat, so you can check out like how the whole structure looks like. But it's like in general really nice 5-minute video with like maybe 10-second answers for with all of the attendees from the event.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that maybe not focus on very specific Giveth questions, but more blockchain for good, positive impact questions.
Yeah, I would say like that because if we are specific to give it, we need to like catch people who will give us good answers to be like very specific on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I think that
What?
the questions were just actually you could I can't see them right now. I'm on my phone, but yeah. I think that one of the preconceptions I'm writing from is that we'll be able to say to people, have you heard of Giveth? And you just give the pitch. So then if you ask them things like, what kind of, could you imagine making a project on Giveth and what would it be? This kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But let me go ahead and
I
go
have a
through and
couple
show me the
ideas.
ones
Can I just add them to the document? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, of
Sure.
course. Of course. Yeah, I think that Suga, as you mentioned, some of them I think that are like pretty general. I mean, I like this one. It's just as you said, we just need to rephrase it a little bit. Like if you have some token, what kind of like activities we do or something like more like general. But I like this one of Giveth could magically solve one problem in your community. What would it be and why? How can Giveth make it easier for everyone to contribute to public good projects? If you could use Giveth to support a specific public good, which one would you choose and why? In your opinion, what are the key advantages of using Giveth for funding and tackling public goods compared to the traditional methods? Oh, sorry, but I think that some of them are cool. Yeah.
And I also think in the end, it is important that the people we're talking to, like I said, first they're going to be pitched. Do you know Giveth? Do you know we're a fundraising platform in crypto? Boom. And then when we get them to answer these questions, well, what do you think about Giveth? How would you use Giveth? Blah, blah, blah. Those then can become really great sound bites. I mean, sure, it's swell if we just said blockchain for good or public goods or whatever. But if we have sound bites of people saying something about Giveth, that's going to be even more valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So I think that it's important, like, start the interview asking if they know Giveth, and then we can just shoot the questions. But first, do you know Giveth? I think that Ashley and Nicola mentioned that the idea will be to interview people approaching to the Giveth booth. That would be easier. And then just ask these questions. I mean, again, I think that these ones are good. Ashley also added, what's your favorite cause to donate to? How will blockchain change the world? And maybe I think that what's missing is maybe some funnier ones.
Yeah. But I just wanted to add to, I guess, to Ashley and Nicola, I actually think this project would be really great, not by the Giveth booth. If you're walking around the venue and you're saying, hey, have you heard of Giveth? Do you know that you can raise funds anytime, anywhere? Uh, Am I the only one talking? Was that an echo? I think I heard myself.
No,
Sorry.
no, sorry. I like pressed unmute accident.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, like if you're walking around, do you know Giveth? Hey, guess what? We're a fundraising platform. What would you make your project be? What would you do with Giveth? Something like that, like where you're just randomly pitching super fast. Don't talk about give backs. Don't talk about give economy. Nothing. Just crypto fundraising platform. We're Giveth. What would you do with Giveth? You know, it's like those old commercials, like when I was a kid about a certain ice cream bar. Or how would you make a new whatever, like chocolate chip cookie? What flavor is your favorite? Just something stupid like that. Something really quick, and you get them to say, "Oh yeah, well, I would. Let's see. Oh, what would we do? Yeah, I'd make a project on like how to save stranded kittens, or whatever." Something silly like that. So just to get them thinking about what is Giveth. Oh yeah, I can raise money for anything, really anything.
Yeah, I think I kind of imagined as well, like walking around, people like on the side of the street with a microphone asking random questions to people as they walk by. That's kind of like what I was imagining, I think.
Awesome.
For me, I guess a question is, what do we want to get out of this interview and how do we want to be using this content? And I see that if we want, yeah, partially it's a good idea to just like ask people questions around the booth. And I also think it's a good idea to just walk around and ask questions that are more general about impact in Web3 in general. I think it's always good idea to bring people to think like this, and it's a content that sounds interesting for me, I guess maybe for our comms to use, because when we will do the interview and we ask people questions about Giveth and what projects would they do, I guess I would like to understand how are we going to use the end result or the information that we're gonna get to the benefit, I guess.
Yeah. The idea is to use it on Instagram, and like we can just jump into our Instagram and post these as reels, and also in Twitter. So last time during Ethember, we tried to create more of like professional videos interviewing like region stars, and then like do something more produced. But I think that learning from that experience, that was complicated, and it needed a lot of preparation. So this time we're just thinking of, okay, how could we create more audiovisual content that's catchy, that's not only words or photos. So just shooting some ETH Barcelona attendees with these fun questions of like blockchain, Giveth, supporting public goods, and then getting the best ones, putting the best ones together, and then just like post some tweets with the ETH Barcelona attendees present, talking about Giveth or talking about blockchain for good, or how would they support public goods. Giveth will be the idea for this. So yeah, I was envisioning that actually Nicola and Ashley could support, and myself of course, but in case that I'm doing something else, I can just lend you my cell phone. I'm looking for a microphone for us to connect to the cell phone, and then we can record the attendees answering the questions. And it would be, as Suga is mentioning, super short interviews. I imagine 1 top 2 questions per attendee, just like answering 3-minute top, like top, so we can have like more content and more videos to cut from. Does that answer your question, Nicola? I think so. Exactly. Okay, so I think that we can then improve these questions a little bit. So the next steps, I know that Ashley is already adding some questions. Maybe Nicola, if you could jump here too and add some questions as well. And Suga, I know that you would like to improve the questions. So I think that we have it, just like more simpler. Which project would you open? Something like that. And then go through there. So please go ahead and review this so we can have finish it before next week. Something else that someone wants to add around this, or we can just move on. Cool. Okay, super important. Amplify, Giveth, impact, quest. So as you all know, Giveth impact quests will be the activity that we will be running on ETH Barcelona. For some context, but I think that we are all on the same page, but just some context, we partner with some local organizations, and the idea is to invite conference attendees and also the Giveth global community to complete the quests and then to win prizes that some sponsors share to this initiative. So this will be cool. Not only the Barcelona conference attendees will be invited, everyone will be invited to complete this. We already finished the Notion, it's done. So I prepare some comms for everyone to please post in their social media. I will add more, but check the first ones here. So yeah, this is meant for you to tweak according to your style, to your social media voice, if you're active on social media, and then just help us amplify the Giveth's impact quests. So here you will find 2 copies that I prepare. Again, I will be drafting more for you to have more to choose and post. But yeah, please help us spread the word, communicate with your friends, and tell them to join this initiative to have a broader impact than last time that we prepared this. Any questions regarding this messaging? Pretty simple. You just need to post it on your social media. Cool. Okay. And the last thing that I wanted to ask you is, we finished the Giveth Impact Quest page. It's a Notion, and actually it's cool because Ashley got these URL, and then it just redirects people to this Notion page. So I wanted to ask you if you please could open this Notion on your cell phone and then just make sure that everything's correct, because sometimes Notion is funny, and if things are not put in Notion's format, images just get smaller or overlap. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird. So please go and check the Notion page on your cell phones, because it is where everyone in the conference will be opening this, and make sure that there's no images over another one or something weird. And yeah, that was the last thing that I wanted to ask you. and then you can share your comments or feedback on the impact quest. Cool. Anything else regarding Giveth Barcelona that someone would like to touch on before we move on? Perfect. Okay. Next thing on the today's items, the July homepage. So we need to work on this. July is almost here. So talking with the Communitas working group, they agree that it makes more sense for them to own the project segment that we have right now on the homepage, and then just appropriate that more on Meet the Makers section. Oh, sorry. Meet the Maker section. So the idea for Communitas to work on this monthly, or I don't know. I mean, if Communitas think that this is something that it should be updated bi-monthly or whatever, I think that it would be your call, as you're much more in touch with the projects. So that's important. And the other thing is, Coms will be owning the WhatsApp on Giveth. And for July, I have some things to add. It's not a lot, so wanted to know your thoughts. We have the Giveth Barcelona Impact Quest, the GM podcast new episode with Nathan Schneider, AI June stream on YouTube. I think that we could still keep the ambassador program type form for people to join too. And anything else someone else think would be important to include in the WhatsApp and Giveth section for July?
Yes, I just found out about this. The referral program, the improved referral program is going live this week sometime. So actually, I think we should do a little bit of like a comps campaign around it, and maybe even consider adding it to like our Giveth Barcelona communications. And just to fill everyone in on that, basically we launched the referral program, but the user experience was kind of bad because people were being sent to Chainvine and then they had to read all this information. It's like you click someone's referral link, and instead of going to Giveth through that referral link, you would go to the Chainvine page and it would tell you to become a referee, and you'd have to click a start button in order to get redirected to Giveth, and it was kind of a mess. But like the way that we have it now is that we added this like share and get rewarded thing like all over the DApp. So on any project or even on the homepage, you just like click share and get rewarded, and then it's like share this unique link, and when people donate to a verified project, you'll get give. So the user experience is a lot better, and basically like now the referral program is like useful, is going to be useful at least like sometime this week. So I think it will be done like and launched sometime this week, and then we can include it in WhatsApp, and we can also like make some like tweets and things about it. I put in the social media chat as well.
Perfect.
I have a question about this. Where can I get information about what the new UX is going to look like so I can update the documentation? Because like documentation is for the Chainvine thing.
Oh, nice catch, Franco. Let me send the link to the test deployment of it where you can see like the design and the flow. I'll put it in the chat right now. And then if you have like, if you need like a link to, if you want a link to the Figma or you have any questions, Monique is managing this product, so he can have all of the most up-to-date information.
Perfect. Oh, that's a good catch. Thank you, Lauren, for sure. Okay, so I'll start working on the other 4 with the images for the homepage and stuff, and then just be aware when this is launched to add it. So Ashley and Nicola, we were mentioning to get together this week so I can learn how to use the admin bro. I think that this will be tomorrow, and then we can just work on this and have it ready for next week and not worrying about this on Giveth Barcelona. anything else that you like to add to the July homepage that you think is missing? Perfect. See the share and get rewarded button? Where? I don't know where, Laura.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna post pictures for Franco in the chat there. You can ignore that. Unless you look at the chat.
Oh, okay, cool. Great. Okay, if you have any other idea on what to add to the WhatsApp on Giveth, just ping me and I'll be happy to add it as well. And I thought that Lauren was not going to attend, so I didn't add the quadratic funding next steps to the call, but maybe as Lauren is here, do you want to maybe chat a little bit about that, add something else to the improved referral program?
Yeah, sure. No, I think for improved referral program, I did post this in our like social media chat as well. Like I hope Steve has like maybe some ideas because he was interested in the referral program. But I do think that we should like create like some tweet threads about it. And then also just like if everybody who's gonna be like at the booth and stuff at ETH Barcelona can kind of understand this, then we can tell people when they're like coming, like it's like, yeah, and if you donate to projects, you can also like share their link and then get rewarded with give tokens and like embed the fact that the referral program exists into like our regular explanations about Giveth.
For sure. Yeah, that's super important. I think that we should definitely prepare a Notion doc or something for the people that's going to be on the booth that has the information. Because I think that on Denver that was something that happened that people didn't know well what were impact quests or what's up with this and that. So I can create a Notion doc with this, and then maybe you can review it, Lauren, and then share it with everyone with some bullets of what to mention.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds perfect. I can also share like we have also for the referral program, there's like a new landing page that also explains it. So I'll post the link there in the chat right now. So it explains how it works. And this is what we would tell other people. You connect your wallet, you generate a unique referral link. There's cool like things about the referral program too that like now actually, you know, a project can generate a referral link to their project and then share that with people. And then when people donate through the project's referral link to their project, they get the donation, but they also get some part of the give back. So it's like, it's the first time that project owners can actually earn give backs. And yeah, and it's like, yeah, project owners just get like all kinds of like extra benefits now. So it's like, here, chill more about your project. And not only do you get donations, but you also get extra give. Yeah. Yeah, and just like if since I'm explaining how it all works, if anyone clicks the referral link and they're like a new donor to Giveth, and they click a referral link that's maybe a referral link to a specific project, but then they donate to a different verified project, that's also cool, and the referral rewards still go to the original referral link person, you know, the referrer.
Okay.
Yeah, the way that it works is basically just like I have a unique referral ID and that gets attached on the end of any link like to Giveth. It could be to the Giveth homepage or to a specific project. And then when people click a link that has my unique ID attached to it, any verified project that they donate to within a period of time gives me givebacks. Yeah, and there are like nuances to it. If they donate, if they were a previous donor and they clicked my link, then they have their like I get part of their givebacks for a 24-hour period. And if they're like a brand new donor to Giveth, I get part of their givebacks for like a 7-day period. And those are just like the minor details, like probably interesting to Franco and like generally good to know, but like not that necessary to explain to absolutely everybody.
Yeah, I think that this is super, super important, all this that you're mentioning. Kind of like what we were discussing with quadratic funding and what Franco is asking. I know that Monique is owning this, but I think that should be super helpful to just have, I guess that there's somewhere where all this info is or would be in the documentation, or is just something that you know, or
I think it's already partly in the documentation because like the amount of time that the referral link is active for, that hasn't changed. Only the like user flow has changed. So the information is in the documentation and will be improved upon, I think. And Franco, if you have any questions, like just message me or Monique. Monique probably better than me, but like I don't know, depends. Monique is the master of the product, and I can probably get you your answers quick. So yeah, like the information will be in the documentation, and also just like the basic information around the flow is like on that landing page, which I shared here in the chat.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, Monique said like they're hoping that they can like push it to production tomorrow, if not like by Thursday. But you know, it doesn't mean we have to announce it or anything on Thursday. It's like it'll be on production and we can do a little bit of live testing. Everyone can get familiar with it, and then we can like, okay, how are we gonna like strategically make use of the referral program in our communications? So yeah, like later this week. And I can let everyone know like when it goes live as well. I can just post it in the comms channel.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Yeah, I think everything is here. Great. Great. Thanks, Lauren. Anything else?
I think that's it for the referral program. I'm happy to talk a little bit about QF though. Yeah, so I put together the Notion doc, and I got like I bugged you, Ashley, and Ahmed about it, and Franco is already kind of like starting on an outline for the documentation. Yeah, so I think like yeah, at this point, if you know, I mean, we can get like more comments in here, but then basically just like start building this out into a plan.
Yeah. I saw that maybe you already talked with Franco, I'm not sure, but he was saying that it'd be great to have more information around the what's going to be on the documentation. So maybe we can meeting or something for him to is this? Yeah, I think is this, no? Yeah, so that we can just get together and work on at least the outline of the documentation for him to have like more info.
The big structural things, you know, like what are going to be like the things that we explain, because also like in the Notion side, like you're talking about like rounds and like eligibility like for the project, but it's not very clear yet. That's what I'm getting. So I guess like what I'm doing right now is just like outlining like the things that are needed to be explained. I feel like that's what I'm doing right now, but like there's still things to define, right?
I saw your outline. It looked really great, just like the headings for the different sections. I think a lot of it can already be like start to be filled in, like a little bit of like an intro to like what is QF, and you can look at also. I put a link to. I think I put a link in the Notion. I put a link to the Allo protocol docs, which is like basically like Gitcoin's documentation, where it's like they kind of have a nice structure for it. So we can borrow some things from here. Yeah, and maybe we can even like collaborate on writing these, Franco, like ones that I'm like, yeah, this is pretty straightforward and I just like need somebody to kind of write these things into a thing. I can get you to do, and then ones that are like more nuanced, I can write them and just like kind of have you like help me review and post it. Saturday. No, Sunday. I don't know. We're leaving on Saturday night. We'll be there Sunday very exhausted. Yeah. So let's work on this in person in Barcelona. I'm gonna be there like anyway all month, and so we can just maybe like have like a little hack session or something in the morning to go through it.
Perfect. Yeah, this is great because I think that having a base a repository where we can find all the information, that then it will be easier to create the emailing, create the social media copy, create the outreach. So for me, this will be the first step, and then we can start working on anything else. I think that the second part would be to draft social media copies and draft the materials. And also, as we review in the comms plan, in the proposal that I presented a couple of weeks ago, we were mentioning that having some audiovisual help is very important, especially for projects like this that for audiovisual content in order to cut people's attention. So this girl from DreamDAO was recommending this video guy, Keshav, because DreamDAO is having again thing in which you can have you can champ the DreamDAO contributor on your community, in this case Giveth, for like a small amount of money. So maybe we can talk about that, because I was thinking that if we have some audiovisual help, especially for this project, that would be cool. And if it can be like having some contributor from DreamDAO like hosting for a cheaper price, maybe that could worth it as well. So yeah, go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, I think that sounds awesome. And I totally agree that like putting audiovisual stuff will be really great and important. I think, you know, I've been working on the QF like proposal as well for like grow, shrink, maintain and stuff. And I'm thinking it would be really nice if, and it's good Ashley's here, is like if we did like some supportive project onboarding QF, you know, because there's these eligibility requirements, like projects need to have an Optimism address to be eligible. And we are also planning to have the requirement that they have like they're in the 50 projects from Give Power. And so it's kind of like there's maybe some things that people would need to understand. It would be great to have like at least the spaces in like the AMAs, or we could like prepare some like onboarding like email or like a video or something around like how projects can become eligible for like the QF rounds. And this stuff kind of needs to be prepared before we start running the rounds, because like, you know, if we're using Give Power as an eligibility requirement, it's like there's like a 2-week period in which people can like curate projects, and then the top 50 at the start of the next period are the ones that get eligible, you know. So it's like the month leading up to the QF round is like we need to do a big push for supporting project onboarding.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do some like specific AMA orientation calls around just for QF, and like we could do it like a theme for that one. And then also I was thinking like I would probably even be willing just to like open up my Calendly for any project owners to schedule, like make a 15-minute little like slots where they could sign up, and I'd be happy to like just jump on a quick call with them, because I know Discord is kind of challenging for some project owners. So to kind of remove that barrier, I'd be happy to help support with that.
Yeah. I love that. So we can have like the on one hand, like that's perfect for like onboarding campaign stuff, and I can work with you, Ashley, to like just like be like, okay, these are the specific action items. But I love like the idea of having you like, if like for 1 week you have like 15-minute slots for people, and then we need to like make some like tweets and let people know about them. Like that's great. Yeah, and then there's also in the time leading up to the QF round actually starting, we need to do like a bit of a fundraising push, and I'm not sure who's the best person to work on this. I mean, like I would default to be like, Almond can have a look at it, but like maybe like Suga, you might have time, I don't know. Or Anna Maria, I don't know. You're like hanging out here. I don't know how much you're doing for Give with Comms, but we are doing this like QF Catalyst thing. I saw Almond, you open the doc. Basically, we're trying to get people to donate to the matching pool and get like large donors in the matching pool, and then do like a little bit of a marketing push for them to like help promote their project. It's like, if you donate to our matching pools, we'll like write tweets about you, we'll include you in our banners and like other comms. So I think like having somebody from comms or just like a couple of eyes here to be like, yeah, from a marketing standpoint, like this is feasible to do, would be good. Yeah, it's like the Google.qf fundraising story. Yeah, you're looking at it. So I think like one like next step is like, who can look at this and like also provide like some feedback from a comms perspective. I think you're already added to it, Almond, so I don't know if you can.
I think, as you said, Suga will be great because now she has this funding experience. I can for sure check it out, and I'm glad that you are clarifying this a little bit more, because I saw that it was added on the Notion, but I didn't know that it was like actually getting the catalysts but I think that it makes sense more just like to review this and make sure it's clear and it's good. Question,
Yeah,
do you
and
know if go ahead.
I was gonna say, basically the QF catalysts are like equivalent to the Gitcoin Funders League. So it's like, we're like, these are our 5 projects that donated to the matching pool and made this QF round possible. They are our QF catalysts. They're like, basically like making it possible for QF to happen. So QF Catalyst is equivalent to like a Gitcoin Funders League thing. And we're basically just like the trade is like, okay, you put some funds into the matching pool and like you get marketing and promotions and tweets and stuff from a Giveth standpoint. So we kind of need to be prepared to do it, and also like, be like, yeah, we can promise this, and this is doable, and this is reasonable and a good trade. So that's why I need some eyes on the dock, basically. Breachies and Griff prepared it.
This is going to become some sort of presentation, you think, or is just going to be do you know that?
I think, I think they might use it like when they are directly reaching out to people and like share the stock with them and be like, here's the kind of like offer that we have and the different tiers. But yeah, so it might be turned into a presentation. It might just be shared around like a Notion or like a Google or something like that. Or maybe we make like the tiers into like a graphic or something. I think like the way is really open, but for our MVP round, honestly, it sounds like the people we're going to be targeting are mostly like close friends of Griff, who he knows will be happy to put a little bit of money into the fund. So like Jared from Status, and like they'll put in 5K and then we'll promote Status. So I think like the audience is going to be a little bit more specific for the first round. But in future rounds, we can like strategize a new way of reaching more funders, basically.
Yeah, I really think that this is a very important document, even though that's like Griff's friends. Maybe we can comment and help for this to be nicer, or like maybe kind of like the style that you and Griff present your when you're presenting Giveth or something, like a nicer deck. But
yeah,
I think the first step, as I mentioned, is just check the info and try to make it better or clearer, or I don't know. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. So,
Yeah, and I just want to add, like, I'm not 100% on QF catalysts or anything like that. If you guys can come up with something better, but
you mean better in the information in this document, right?
Better title. Like, so instead of calling them QF catalysts, Gitcoin calls them a funders league. Maybe we want to call them give backers, whatever.
ideally, I like catalyst as a solo thing. The only thing it doesn't bring is this sense of belonging. Like, being part of a league makes you part of this, elite group. And that's missing in the term, I think. And like, we were playing with like QF Catalyst crew. Too long, too much, no, So that's the only thing. QF Catalyst is more than good enough to go. But I was hoping to get that sense of belonging that we can, use. That's all.
Ashley, sometimes I think that we could yeah, Ashley is already brainstorming I know that you have good idea. Catalyzer Club, Givioners, like Givioners. I didn't get that, Franco.
Like pioneers, giving years.
Oh, okay.
There's a bunch of ideas. If you go into the Google Doc at the bottom of it, there's like a whole big long list in there. Feel free to look at that list or add to it or like leave comments in this doc and be like, I don't like this one and I love this one or something, you know?
I think it's good not to include, like, they didn't call it the Gitcoin Funders League. It's just the Funders League, you know? I wouldn't include anything related with Giveth, personally.
Yeah, and I'm tired of saying everything is give something. Just
I wouldn't go that far, but at least this one. At least for this one.
Oh, there's a lot here. Okay, so we have homework. And also, Suga, I think that you will be great on adding some ideas. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And if everyone can just like I mean, if everyone who's going to be in Giveth at the time we're running QF can just read this Notion doc and get familiar with it, like I feel like during Bitcoin rounds, there's like they have like a huge comms push. They've got people working on eligibility, people who are running Twitter spaces, who are going around talking about what their rounds are like, and like it's just so many things to it. And I'm like, I could do any one of them, but like I think we're really going to need a team. Like we're going to need a full team behind QF in order to like make these rounds a success. And I put a bunch of different ideas of things that we can and should do like for comms marketing stuff in the Notion doc, as well as information around like the details of it. Like it's 5 chains, we're raising 25,000. These are the eligibility requirements for projects. The rounds will last 2 weeks. They span a givebacks round. Donors get givebacks. Like there's all those points in there too that are probably like frequently asked questions. People on the crew. So just like, yeah, please go into the Notion doc and have a look at it. I can also tag everyone on the existing issue.
Oh, Mitch is here. Mitch, did you heard about the coming with a better name for the catalyst? I think that you could get a great name.
I think that was my name. I was sitting with Griff and we looked at the names and I was like, QF Catalyzer.
Well, let's brainstorm more things, more options.
I also said QF Club.
But it needs, I think that it should be something that creates like, makes people feel special, and QF Club is kind of like, yeah, special, but general, maybe that's more impactful. I don't know, we can think about it.
QF Infinite Privilege. I don't know.
Infinite privilege.
I think Griff just put in like credit card names into ChatGPT.
Yeah, I was searching superhero groups. Like Funders League is like, you know, like the Justice League.
Oh my god. Okay, perfect. Well, there's a lot of things to work on. Anyone else have something regarding QF? Finishing this meeting, I will just put everything into Discord, the next steps, so we can follow through. QF Club Word Elite. QF Man, like the X-Man. Oh my god, Lauren, why did you... No, I'm kidding. QF People Grief. Cool. Well, if no one else have anything else to add, I think that that would be all. Grief, go ahead. No, I think Griff only has his microphone on. Okay, well, thank you so much, and see you in 2 weeks, because next week we will not have our comms. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.